Shri Sachidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai. Chapter 50. Preliminary. Victory be unto Sai, who is the mainstay of the Bhaktas, who is our Sadguru, who expounds the meaning of the Gita, who gives us all powers. O Sai, look favorably on us and bless us all. The sandalwood trees grow on Malaya mountains and ward off heat. The clouds pour their rainwater and thereby cool and refresh all people. The flowers blossom in spring and enable us to worship God therewith. So the stories of Sai Baba come forthwith in order to give solace and comfort to the readers. Both those who tell and those who hear the stories of Baba are blessed and holy, as also the mouths of the former and the ears of the late latter. It is a well established fact that though we try hundreds of means or sadhanas, we do not attain the spiritual goal of life unless a Sadguru blesses us with his grace. Hear the following story in illustration of this statement. Kakasaheb Dixit, 1864 to 1926. Mr. Hari Sitaram, alias Kakasaheb Dixit, was born in 1864 AD in a Vadanagar, Vadanagar Nagar Brahmin family at Khandwa. His primary education was done at Khandwa, Hinganghat, and secondary education at Nagpur. He came to Bombay for higher education and studied first in the Wilson College and then in the Ecclestone College. After graduation in 1883 AD, he passed his LLB and solicitor's examinations and then served in the firm of the government solicitors, Messrs. Little and Company, and then after some time started a solicitor's firm of his own. Before 1909 AD, Sai Baba's name was not familiar to Kakasaheb, but after that he soon became his great devotee. While he was staying at Lonaval, he happened to see his old friend, Mr. Nana Sahib Chindorkar. Both spent some time in talking about many things. Kakasaheb described to him how, when he was boarding a train in London, he met with an accident in which his foot slipped and was injured. Hundreds of remedies gave him no relief. Nana Sahib told him that if he wished to get rid of the pain, lameness of his leg, he should go to his Sadguru, Sai Baba. He also gave him all the particulars of Sai Baba and mentioned to him that Sai Baba's dictum, I draw to me my man from far off or even across seven seas, like a sparrow with a string fastened to its beak. He also made it clear to him that if he be not Baba's man, he would not be attracted to him and given a darshan. Kaka Sahib was pleased to hear all this and said to Nana Sahib that he would go to Baba, see him, and pray to him to cure not so much his lame leg, but to bring around his lame, fickle mind and give him eternal bliss. Some time after, Kaka Sahib went to Ahmednagar and stayed there with Sridhar Kaka Sahib Mirikar in connection with securing votes for a seat in Bombay Legislative Council. Mr. Balasaheb Mirikar, son of Kakasaheb Mirikar, who was a Mamlatdar of Kopargaon, also came at that time to Ahmednagar in connection with a horse exhibition there. After the election business was over, Kakasaheb Dixit wanted to go to Shirdi, and both the Mirikar, father and son, were also thinking in their house about a fit and proper person as a guide with whom he should be sent there. There Sai Baba was arranging things for his reception. Shama got a telegram from his father-in-law at Ahmednagar stating that his wife was seriously ill and that he should come to see her with his wife. Shama, with Baba's permission, went there and saw his mother-in-law and found her improving and better. Nana Sahib Panse and Appa Sahib Kadre happened to see Shama on their way to the exhibition and told them to go to Mirikar house, see Kaka Sahib Dixit there, and take him to Shirdi along with him. Kaka Sahib Dixit and the Mirikar were also informed of Shama's arrival. In the evening, Shama came to Mirikars, who introduced him to Kaka Sahib. They arranged that Shama should leave for Kopargaon with Kaka Sahib by the 10 o'clock night train. After this was settled, a curious thing happened. Bala Sahib Mirikar threw aside the veil or covering on Baba's big portrait and showed the same to Kaka Sahib. He was surprised to see that he, whom he was going to meet at Shirdi, was already there in the form of his portrait to greet him at this juncture. He was much moved and made his prostration before the portrait. The portrait belonged to Megha, The glass over it was broken and it was sent to Minirkars for repairs. The necessary repairs had been already made and it was decided to return the portrait with Kakasaheb and Shyama. Before 10 o'clock, they went to the station and booked their passage. But when the train arrived, they found that the second class was overcrowded and that they had no room for them. Fortunately, the guard of the train turned out to be an acquaintance of Kakasaheb and he put them up in the first class. Thus, they travelled comfortably and alighted at Kopargaon. Their joy knew no bounds when they saw there Nana Sahib Chandorkar, who was also bound for Shirdi. Kaka Sahib and Nana Sahib embraced each other, and then, after bathing in the sacred Godavari river, they started for Shirdi. After coming there and getting Baba's darshana, Kaka Sahib's mind was melted, his eyes were full of tears, and he was overflowing with joy. Baba said to him that he was also waiting for him and had sent Shama ahead to receive him. Kaka Sahib then passed many happy years in Baba's company. He built a vada in Shirdi, which he made as his more or less permanent home. The experiences he got from Baba are so manifold that it is not possible to relate them all here. The readers are advised to read a special Kakasaheb Dixit number of Shri Sai Leela magazine, volume 12, numbers 6 to 9. We close this account with the mention of one fact only. Baba had comforted him by saying that in the end he will take him in an air coach, Vimana, that is, secure him a happy death. This came out true. On the 5th July 1926 AD, he was travelling in the train with Himat Pant and talking about Sai Baba. He seemed deeply engrossed in Sai Baba. All of a sudden, he threw his neck on Himat Pant's shoulder and breathed his last, with no trace of pain and uneasiness. Shri Tembe Swami. Shri Tembe Swami. We come to the next story, which shows how saints love each other with fraternal affection. Once Shri Vasudevanand Saraswati, known as Shri Tembe Swami, encamped at Rajamandri, Andhra County, on the banks of Godavari. He was devout, orthodox, jnani, and yoga bhakta of God Dattatreya, yogi bhakta of Lord Dattatreya. One Mr. Pundalik Rao, pleader of Nanad, went to see him with some friends. While they were talking with him, the names of Shirdi and Sai Baba were casually mentioned. Hearing Baba's name, the Swami bowed to him, bowed with his hands, and taking a coconut, gave it to Pundalik Rao and said to him, "Offer this to my brother Sai with my pranam and request him not to forget me but ever love me." He also added that Swamis do not generally bow to each other, but in this case an exception had to be made. Mr. Pundalik Rao consented to take the fruit and his message to Baba. The Swami was right in calling Baba a brother, for he as he maintained an Agnihotri sacred fire day and night in his orthodox fashion. Baba too kept his Agnihotri, that is Duni, ever burning in the masjid. After 1 month, Pundalik Rao and others left for Shirdi with the coconut and reached Manmad, and as they felt thirsty, went to a rivulet for drinking water. As water should not be drunk on an empty stomach, they took out some refreshment, chivda, flattened rice mixed with spice. The chivda tasted most pungent, and in order to soften it, someone suggested and broke the coconut and mixed its scrapings with it. Thus they made the chivda more tasty and palatable. Unfortunately, the fruit broken turned out to be the same that was entrusted to Pundalik Rao. As they neared Shirdi, Pundalik Rao remembered the trust, the coconut and was very sorry to learn that it was broken and utilized. Fearing and trembling, he came to Shirdi and saw Baba. Baba had already received a wireless message regarding the coconut from the Tembe Swami and himself asked Pundalik Rao first to give the thing sent by his brother. He had fast Baba's feet, confessed his guilt and negligence, repented, and asked for Baba's pardon. He offered to give another fruit as a substitute, but Baba refused to accept it, saying that the worth of that coconut was by far many times more than an ordinary one, and it could not be replaced by another. Baba also added, "Now you need not worry yourself any more about this matter. It was on account of my wish that the coconut was entrusted to you and ultimately broken on the way. Why should you take the responsibility of the actions on you? Do not entertain the sense of doership in doing good, as well as for bad deeds. Be entirely prideless and egoless in all things, and thus your spiritual progress will be rapid." What a beautiful spiritual instruction Baba gave. Balaram Dhurandhar. Mr. Balaram Dhurandhar belonged to the Pathare Prabhu community of Santa Cruz, Bombay. He was an advocate of the Bombay High Court and sometime principal of the Government Law School, Bombay. The whole Dhurandhar family was pious and religious. Mr. Balaram served his community and wrote and published an account of it. He then turned his attention to spiritual and religious matters. He studied carefully Gita and its commentary Jnaneshwari and other philosophical metaphysical works. He was a devotee of Vithoba of Pandharpur. He came in contact with Sai Baba in 1912 AD. 6 months previous, his brothers Babulal Ji and Vaman Rao came to Shirdi and took Baba's darshan. They returned home and mentioned their sweet experiences to Balaram and other members. Then they all decided to see Shirdi and Sai Baba. Before they came to Shirdi, Baba declared openly that today many of my Darbar people are coming. The Dhurandhar brothers were astonished to hear this remark of Baba from others, as they had not given any previous intimation of their trip. All the other people prostrated themselves before Baba and sat talking with him. Baba said to them, "These are my Darbar people whom I referred before," and said to the Dhurandhar brothers, "We are acquainted with each other for the last 60 generations." All the brothers were meek and modest and stood with joined hands staring at Baba's feet. All the sattvic emotions such as tears, horripilation, choking, etc. moved them and they were all happy. They then went to their lodging, took their meals, and after taking a little rest again came to the masjid. Balaram sat near Baba, massaging his legs. Baba, who was smoking the chillum, advanced it towards him and beckoned him to smoke it. Balaram was not accustomed to smoking. Still, he kept the pipe, smoked it, and with great difficulty, and returned it reverentially with a bow. This was the most auspicious moment for Balaram. He was suffering from asthma for 6 years. This smoke completely cured him of the disease, which never troubled him again. Some 6 years later, on a particular day, he again got an attack of asthma. This was precisely the time when Baba took his Mahasamadhi. The day of the visit was a Thursday, and the Dhurandhar brothers had the good fortune of witnessing the Chavdi procession that night. At the Aarti function in the Chavdi, Balaram saw the luster of Panduranga on Baba's face, and next morning at the Kapta Aarti time, the same phenomenon, the same luster of his beloved deity Panduranga, was visible again on Baba's face. Mr. Balaram Dhurandhar wrote in Marathi the life of the Maharashtra saint Tukaram, but he did not strive to see its publication. He did not survive to see its publication. It was published later on by his brothers in 1928 in a short note on Balaram's life. Given in the beginning of the book, the above account of Balaram's visit has been fully corroborated therein. We are page 6 of the book. Woe to Shri Sai, peace be to all. Shri Satchidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai. End of chapter 50.